Hey everybody, for those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest and welcome to It's Go Time. Now before we get going, I'm going to ask if you can all stay off of the stage area here. This way nobody blocks this big display behind me. And this way, I got a little bit of room to move around, do the whole hosting thing, right? Now you're going to notice on your menu wheel in the lower left, there's a microphone icon at the very top of that. And when that microphone icon is clear, that means we can hear what's happening in your environment, right? So we've gone ahead and we've turned that to red. And this way, if somebody comes into your space and says, hey, are you still on that thing? We're not going to be able to hear that. Or maybe like you have a dog barking in the background or something, you're not going to face social ruin back at the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that suddenly started barking during its go time, right? Now, just because you're muted doesn't mean you can't express yourself. You have this, you can and should use this pink cheek smiley face that's in your menu wheel. And when you click on that, your emoji panel opens up in front of you. It gives you a lot of options to express yourself, right? So if I say something really deep, really powerful, really meaningful up here, and you feel it building up and building up, you can just let it out. Just let it flow, just like that. Maybe I got some dancers backstage, right? And they come out and we break into It's Go Time the musical, right? And you're all very impressive. Throw up the applause that I live for, just like that. And I can take a moment to drink that all in because it feels good. All right, if I ask you guys a yes or a no question, you can say yes by smiling like this. You can say no by frowning like that. Maybe I say something funny. You feel like showing me you're laughing. You can do the silly face emoji here. And then there's this. All right, now this is not how you ask a question. This is how you get my attention if something's gone wrong. Like, for example, let's say I'm waving my hands around up here and it looks like I'm talking, right? And you're like, what is he saying? Because I'm not hearing anything. You pop that hand up. Now, if I only see one hand go up, I'm probably going to keep on going. But if I see, 5 go up at once, I know something's wrong. Like maybe the display behind me is caught on fire. The lamp that actually happened once. Our moderators have a good sense of humor, and sometimes we give them Terraform for special effects and stuff like that. And there was, a couple of episodes that we've had here where they actually tried to set the stage on fire. So if something like that happened, let me know. I'm not tempting you, voice under the stage. All right, so here we go. Let's see what else here. Now, Go Time is an event for Oculus Go users, but all are welcome. So if you're on another device, feel free to hang out. You may pick up some useful information, that helps the Go community in Altspace. There's a lot of Go users in Altspace and more coming in all the time. All right, now, let's see here, because, there are some challenges being on the Go, and that's primarily what we're going to be addressing. Speaking of challenges, I've been in bed for about the past couple of years due to a medical condition. It's gotten a lot better, but when I first got my headset, I couldn't wait to get in here. Do you guys remember that feeling when you first put on the headset and you're feeling like you're being taken away to another world, right? Really powerful feeling, right? And the very first time I came into Altspace, I stepped out of that load screen, and the first thing I did was I looked up, right? And what I saw was like the sky that I was looking at looked a lot like the way I remember a sky looking. I was really grateful for this. I was so grateful I started volunteering pretty much right away that very first day. And, I started, volunteering, and I noticed I started having problems. Like I wouldn't make it through an entire event. My battery would fail before the event was over, right? And then I'd have to charge up. I'd have to get back into Altspace, and I'd have to track down the event host and see if I could find them, and then, I'd have to apologize for flaking out. So I got kind of off to, a rough start. And I started asking questions like, what can I do to improve my experience? How can I make my device more reliable in Altspace? And I started to hear some things. I started to hear, for example, that I wouldn't be able to work this laser pointer here. Told me I couldn't use this on an Oculus Go, and you know what? That turned out to not be true. I was told that these slides up here, right? I was told that I wouldn't be able to work these slides like that. That turned out to not be true. I was also told that despite having a background and present material like this, that I wouldn't be able to host events because my device wasn't reliable enough. And that turned out to not be true also. And this told me that there was a huge disconnect between, what people actually thought it was, what it was like to be on a Go versus the reality of actually being on one. Right? There was a lot of misinformation there. So I started to do some research, and I started to try to, figure out ways to improve that experience. And there's two methods that you can take. There's two routes. One, you can start with the device that you already have on your head. So you're going to learn some stuff here today that's going to improve your experience and make your device a lot more reliable. Also, you can, upgrade your experience to exceed the limitations of your device. And I say it that way. Those of you who've been here before, I can't stand that term. Because listen, if somebody tells you every single day that they hate your shirt, you're gonna start thinking, it's not your shirt that they don't like, right? And you hear these terms like limitations, weaker device, things like this, and it doesn't feel great when you hear them. Because, listen, the Go is a remarkable device. It's really great. It's a great introduction to VR. It's a great way to get your VR legs. You don't have to worry about the complexity of two controllers immediately. You can kind of, skill up at your own pace. And it's a wonderful device. But you have to remember something, that there's another word that gets tossed around Altspace an awful lot, and that's communities. There's a lot of diverse communities represented in Altspace. And, these communities, you have to remember that you are not your headset any more than you are your house or your car. All right. The headset is just a vehicle that brings you in Altspace. All right. And I find it pays to remember that. All right. Let's start with the device that you have on your head already. You may not realize this, but when your device isn't in use, it loses power. And it loses power because it's always checking for updates to your apps. It's looking for updates to the firmware. Maybe it has a secret pen pal on the other side of the world. Maybe it's got a whole secret life you don't know anything about, right? And so what's going to happen is while it's doing all this, it's going to lose power. So your first jobs or responsibilities is to make sure that your battery is at or close to as 100% as you can get it. And what I mean by this is when you come into Altspace, if you come in with 20% battery power, you're going to find that you're like screen flickers. All right. The closer it is to 100%, the better your device is going to perform. What's that, Covert? You go all pumped up? Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. You here to fight me? Okay. Well, you're going to have to wait until I finish the presentation. Okay. Then maybe, after that. Okay. So let's see here. So
Is
now
that a new
another thing that
event?
can happen. Wait, what is that, Jerry?
I said, is that going to be a new event?
Oh, the main event,
Boxing?
really. So stick
Main
around
event.
for that. We got it well, you know what? The big red button that we use at the end kind of looks like a round bell. Maybe we can improvise that. Yeah, that might be something we can do. All right, so let's see. So now, when you first put your headset on, right, what you want to do is you want to make sure and make this a habit, right? When you first put your headset on, you're gonna the battery. Forgot about the battery. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna make sure that you have a full charge. Right, so if you're looking at the event schedule with VR and you see like, oh, Go Time's going to be on tonight. I want to go to that. I've heard good things about the host. He's got this hair, right? And you want to you want to go and see it. So what you want to do is you want to plug your device in about an hour before the show starts. Now, once that happens and you get your headset on, the very first thing you want to do is that middle button that you press the power on. All right, you want to press and hold that for about 3 or 4 seconds. When you do, you're going to see 3 buttons appear in the air in front of you. That middle button is going to say restart. And if you press that restart button, your device is going to reset and it's going to clear out all the temporary files. I like to think of this as clearing my mind before I come out, before I come into VR, right? And once you do that, you come into the, let's see here. Okay. You come into the, let's see. Okay. Wait, I just completely lost it. I got distracted by Covert there. Sorry. Let's see here. So yeah, you come into VR, right? And when you do, you step into that load screen and you come in, you're going to notice that, body language plays a very important role in Altspace, right? So if somebody's like in an event like this and they come up to you and they start shaking your head like this, right? That means don't do that thing, right? Or maybe I'm up here and somebody makes it on the stage and I go like this, right? And I'm up here, without saying a word, that means get off my stage, right? But occasionally you're going to notice that your real world hand might be right here, but your avatar's hand might be up here. And when that doesn't match like that, you're going to be conveying messages you don't mean. Like if I go like this to say get off the stage here, right? But my avatar's hand is way up here. What you guys are going to see is my hand waving around like this. And it's going to look like I'm saying, hey guys, welcome to Go Time. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying get off my stage. It's a dangerous place, right? So what can happen here is when that does occur, what you want to do is you're going to put your hand out at your side like this and look straight ahead, right? And on your controller, you've got your trackpad, and below that you have a button, and below that you have a button. That very bottom button, if you were to press it once, don't do it now because if you do, you disappear and I'm going to feel it. No, you're going to be given a choice because it takes you out. It's like an eject button. It takes you out to the Oculus main menu. And once there, you're going to have a choice to quit or to resume. If you press resume, like if you press this button by accident, you'll get taken right back in. But this button does something else. If you're looking straight ahead and you have your hand at your side like this, and you hold that button down for about 3 or 4 seconds, what's going to happen is you're going to see a white circle spin in the air in front of you, and your hand is going to snap right into place. And when it does, take a good look at that hand and ask yourself, is that where my hand is in the real world? All right. If it is, then you're good. You're comfortable. You can go on, and now your hand matches. Or, you can do it again until it feels comfortable. Only you can determine what feels comfortable for you. So try that if you find your hand doesn't line up. Now, occasionally in Altspace, you're going to notice that your main menu wheel, this collection of circles in your lower left, you're going to notice that moves around sometimes. And sometimes it's not going to be in a place that's easy to reach. Like maybe it's drifted behind you, or maybe it's drifted in front of you, and it's like making you feel a little off balance. This is super easy to fix. And the way you can do this is you're going to notice you have on your trackpad, below that you have a button, right? And below that you have another button. That button in the middle, that's your main menu button. you actually don't have to press that blue and white triangle button if you don't want to. You can just look straight ahead and press that button. Your main menu opens up in front of you, and you press it again, the main menu closes. But if you're looking straight ahead when you do that, you're going to notice that your menu wheel, all right, has returned to its original position on your lower left. All right, and that's some handy information there. All right, so you'll get the your main menu is always in your hand, is what I'm saying there too. But you'll be able to readjust where the collection of circles is anytime you want. Now, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when I first started out was somebody told me to turn my brightness down, and I didn't want to. I wanted to have the best graphic experience I could possibly have in Altspace, and for me, that meant having my brightness turned way up, like retina burning levels. I mean, it was like painful, right? So, what I did was, slowly, I wanted my battery to last longer, so I figured I'd give it a try, right? And what happened was, I came into Altspace and I'd be like, let's see, I'm getting very distracted by that. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so what you want to do here is, so when I went to the Oculus main menu, and on the right side is the settings, and then you press settings, and you've got brightness right in the middle. You press on brightness there, and there's a big blue bar that indicates, the brightness level. And you turn the auto brightness off. And each time I came in Altspace, I turned that, blue bar down a little bit more and a little bit more until finally the brightness was completely off. And I came into Altspace, with it like that, and I couldn't believe what I saw. I went by this event that I would regularly moderate for, and they had this tree off to the side where I learned how to moderate. And I went up to that tree and I looked at it. I couldn't believe it. It was like the most realistic I'd ever seen it. All right. So by turning down the brightness, my graphics actually got better. Right. And yours can too. All you have to do, right, is turn that brightness down all the way. Make sure you turn the auto brightness off. Right. And you're going to get better graphics, better performance. But most importantly, your battery's going to last longer. See your hand going up there, Risk? Tell you what, I'm going to, come out here and open up to questions here. So if you do have a question, we can just stop the flow of this and forget the regular presentation. You got a question? Press the raise hand button. Okay. Seeing Nick and Candace. Risk Shell, what's up? Rochelle, rather. Sorry, they don't show the complete name on the list. Rochelle, you have a question? Okay, you got to press that raise hand button there. Okay, what's your question, Risk?
So how do I do that in settings? I go settings in the brightness. Do I go to display or?
It's on your Oculus main menu, so you wouldn't be in Altspace when you do it. It's at the Oculus main menu.
Okay.
On the lower right side, you're going to see settings, right? And right there, you're going to see brightness, and you're going to want to turn it all the way off, all the way down. Your battery will last a lot longer that way. Okay. We will be taking questions and comments at the end, so you want to hang on to those. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Now, another thing you can do is there's a reason that Oculus Go users get kind of a bad reputation in Altspace, and that's because our microphones are extremely powerful. And what that means is like the sound comes out of your ear straps and it gets picked up by the microphone, and then it gets projected out through your avatar in Altspace. And there's a problem. We don't know what we sound like in Altspace. So for example, I don't know what I sound like when I'm speaking right now. And actually I didn't until a couple months ago when we got our YouTube channel. If you notice, we've got Raven Eye floating up in the air over there. And if you want to like wave out to YouTube or something, just, go like that, and wave up to the camera and be like, hey, YouTube, how's it going? Right? So, you can do that. You can see we got waffles, no syrup right here. There's a good preference right there. You got Bronto here. You got Bittersweet Brain. You got Steven here. You got Yeet. What's up? You got Savant 771, and we got all the people Nard 1919. We got all these people in Altspace, so come on in and join us. Right now, what you're going to notice too is, we don't know what we sound like in here. Right. So let's say you're a new user and you're walking into the campfire and you see a group of avatars standing over there and they're all talking with their friends, they're having a good time, and you approach them, right? And all of a sudden, before you say a word, they turn and they face you, right? And they're like, and then they come at you and they're like, "Are you want to go? Are you want to go?" And you haven't said a word yet, right? And that can be pretty off-putting when that happens. But what they're experiencing can be pretty off-putting too. What their experience is, they're standing here talking with their friends, right? And me and Blanche here, we're talking back and forth, and I'm saying stuff to Shen, and we're hanging out, and all of a sudden I hear a voice. And that voice is very familiar, right? And I turn and I see your avatar with my voice coming at it, right? And then what happens, and it's as it was in the past because there's like an audio delay, right? Because the sound is coming out of your ear straps and it's being picked up by the microphone. So we end up hearing ourselves with the feedback, and it can make it very difficult to have a conversation with somebody like that, right? Fortunately, it's very easy to fix this. You're going to notice on your headset, you have two buttons on the top left side, right? And those two buttons there, the leftmost button is the volume down button, and the button next to it is the volume up button. When you press either of them, you're going to see these vertical bars appear in the air in front of you. Some will be solid and some will be clear. What you're going for is 4 clear bars on the right side. That's where your volume is 4 ticks away from the maximum, right? And when you do this, your audio level is going to be at such a level where it's not going to be picking up the sound as easily from the straps, right, into the microphone there. And when that happens, what you can do is this is kind of going to come in a trade-off too, because you might have to strain to hear people now and then. All right, and what you can do is you just ask them to repeat themselves, and you put your hand up to your ear like this. You just cup your hand like that. And if you do this now, you still got one good hand in the real world, right? Take your left hand and put it up to your ear, right? And you're going to notice, right, that my voice gets louder, right? So this is a way of temporarily raising somebody's volume without it coming out through your microphone. One surefire thing you can do is to get a pair of headphones, and when you get a pair of headphones, the only voice coming out of your avatar will be your own. You could also get a pair of inexpensive earbuds. In my case, my wife went to the library and she got an audiobook, right? She came home with these free earbuds that they gave her. And all of a sudden they disappeared. And good news, they reappeared a short time later attached to my headset, and they remain there to this day. All right, so there's a couple of things that you can do that's going to basically, improve your sound quality and make sure that, that you're not actually, echoing other people's voices back at them. All right, and that can be a real problem in Altspace. Now, let's see here. Now, this got me thinking when I added the earbuds in, what else can I add to my device to make it perform better? Right, and I came up with what I call a Go Plus experience. And I call it this because I would go to like heavy performant worlds, right? They were very demanding on the processor, and I'd see other Go users disappear into the floor, and I'd see them like disappear completely, right? As they crashed or they overheated. And I would be still standing there, all right? And my device became super reliable after I did the things I'm about to talk about. But to talk about these things, I'm going to have to discuss these products up here. But I like to say that these are not the only products that work. It's the ideas behind these products that matter, not the products themselves. I just feel comfortable recommending these because these are the ones that I personally use, right? And the temptation is going to be to write this stuff down, right? But you don't actually have to write this stuff down. We've made these in the form of links, so they're easy to get to. If you go to altvr.com, you're going to see in the upper left it says channels. And if you click on channels, you're going to see a list of all the Altspace event channels. And you're going to see Ravenhall events among them, like it says up on the sound booth over there. And when you click on that, you get taken to our event page. And on the left-hand side of that page is all of these products listed out. So if you want to try any one of them, we've made it easy for you to do so. There's also a join Discord button there. If you want to join our Discord, help us put on events like this. There's also the most important button on the internet, is the subscribe button, right? And if you press that, it lets Altspace know that you enjoy our content. We also don't get paid to do this. And, so every time we see that number go up, it makes us feel good. So have a good time today. That's a nice way to say thank you. All right, now what these products are is, let's start with the top. You have the Anker Power Cord Battery Pack. Now, I figured this would solve my power issue. You got a question, Eat? We're going to be taking them at the end. Is it like, something's wrong, urgent? Or you can't wait? We're almost there. All right, I'll take your question. Press that raise hand button, Eat. We'll see what's up. What's going on, Eat? What's up? Okay. All right, you unmute yourself again and try one more time. What's up, Eat?
I got muted on accident. I don't
Okay.
know why.
What's up? What was the question? Okay, looks like you muted yourself again. All right. Warren, if you had a question, remember to hit that raise hand button in your lower right there. In your lower right, not the emoji. Okay. Not seeing it on my panel here. Okay, well, we will be taking questions and comments at the end. So let me just tell you about these products real quick, and then we'll jump into the questions. Okay. So what we have here is this Power Core Battery Pack, and this is the manufacturer says that. Let's see. Okay, Stephen, you have a question? Raise hand, because we don't have to do the rehearsed material. We can just do a question and answer period. So just press the raise hand button on your lower right, and I'll be able to take them. I'm not seeing you appear on my list here though. No, you were raising a hand up though. Okay. Cool. All right. Show of emojis. Show me smiley faces. Do you want to go like right to the question period? Show me some smiley faces. All right. So you want to go right to the question. Are you going to press that raise hand button on your lower right if you have a question or a comment? All right. We'll handle it that way. Not the raise hand emoji. I'm not actually seeing anybody appear on my list here. So are you guys actually pressing the raise hand button? No? Okay, but you want to go right to the questions. Okay, let's see. Some people just appeared here. We have Jake the Steak. Jake, what's up? What's up, Jake? Okay. It's very strange. Jake, you're on the air. Here you go. No? Okay, now you're off. All right, Yeet. How about you, Yeet?
For some reason, I keep getting muted. I can't talk.
Okay.
On,
Quite sure why that is, but
why are we being recorded? Is this going on YouTube?
well, actually, because Altspace represents 150 different countries, and the particular time slot that we have this event scheduled in, not everybody who say is in Europe can make it. Because right now it's the middle of the night in Europe, right? So what we do is we record these and we put them up on YouTube. This way, if there are Go users in Europe that want to benefit from some of the tips that we give, they'll be able to do that. And that's why we record it. You know, plus like we like to share our content with as many people as we can, and not everybody, you know, the times that we pick for our shows aren't always convenient for everybody. So I want to give a chance for everybody to see it. You know, because we can actually stop it. We can make it so that you'll never overheat again. We can make it so that you'll never run out of power. You know, and your device can become super reliable, just like doing the stuff that we talk about here. But let's see. We also have Jake the Snakes on again. Jake, what's up? You have a question or a comment?
I have a question. Is there
What's
any
that?
way for like my Oculus Go? It came with one controller. Is there like some way to like get like a second controller?
People have done it, but it's not recommended because you actually have to violate the warranty to do it. There's YouTube videos about it, and as soon as your Oculus does like an update, it's probably no longer going to work after that. So I wouldn't recommend that because you risk actually like damaging your device and voiding your warranty. It's against the manufacturer's recommendations. They really should make it so that you can add one on there. Like for the moment, right now, it's just the one. Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. We also have Risk. What's up, Risk?
So to get all the stuff on the board behind you, would that be like the battery pack? Is that like a wireless charger, like you could just get for like your phone or whatever, and just plug
No,
it
you
into the
do plug it
headset,
in.
or-
You do plug it in to charge it. This one is supposed to last 16 hours. I never thought I'd need to be in VR for that long, so I figured it was a good amount to start out with, like food and water and all that kind of stuff. And what we do is we plug in this. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but when you plug in your headset, that connection is very tight, right? And all that
Right,
wear
yeah.
and tear, I had heard people were, their devices over time weren't charging as effectively. So around the same time I got this battery pack, I got this second product here, this MagSafe cable. And this MagSafe cable, what this does is one tip plugs into your headset, the other end plugs into the battery, and it's held in place by a magnetic connector. And this magnetic connector is a great safety feature because when you turn your head, if it pulls on that wire, the wire will just pop off, right? And then what you can do is just pick it up. You don't even have to come out of VR to fix it. You just pick it up and hold it to the side of your headset, and it'll like thunk right into place. And if your microphone's open, people are going to hear that. And they're going to be like, what was that? You're going to be like, that's pure power, or you can say something clever like that, right? And, so that helps with that. But the most important device up here, and actually one of the cheapest, this is about $10 or $11 US, is this AC Infinity Mini Fan. It's really small. It fits in the palm of your hand because once I solved my power problem, I started noticing I started overheating all the time. Now, the faceplate that cools your headset, wait, what'd you say? What's the difference?
Like, yeah, I was gonna say like on the face right here.
Yeah, the faceplate, it's supposed to cool your device, but it's installed by hand, right? So what it does is the amount of time it takes for your device to overheat varies from person to person. Some lucky few never overheat at all. For me, it was about once every half hour. Some people I knew a guy who overheated every 2 minutes. The first go time we ever had, this guy's headset actually got pushed in from the heat. The side of it got all melted. This made me very nervous. I had heard that some people were using an ice pack to bring down the temperature. I don't think that's a good idea because you got water, moisture, electricity on your face. Probably not a good combination. And the people I know that tried this, they went through more than one headset. But this AC Infinity Mini Fan, what you do is you make it so the silver part spacing the faceplate, and you can hold it in place with like string, or in my case, I use my wife's hair bands. I attach it to the straps, and I cross it over, and I put it on the brown rubber feet. And I came into Altspace to test it. Now I went to this event, the meditation event, and in that it's a really fancy space on top of a mountain with fog and smoke coming out of these bowls. It's a great space. And when I went there to test it, I asked the host Jeremy, he's a nice guy, can you hear my fan? And it was on the lowest setting. He says not at all. He couldn't hear it at all, and I thought that was great. So I turned it up medium. He said I can hear that a little bit, right? But it's not that bad. And I turned it up full blast, and he goes, now you sound like you're in a wind tunnel. It's really bad. Right? So I turned it down to the lowest setting, and I never had to turn it up again. Here's what happened. I went through that entire event. Usually I'd overheat 20 minutes into that experience, but I went through that entire event, and what happened was I didn't overheat at all. And then I went to another event, I didn't overheat at all. And then I went to another event, I didn't overheat at all. And I went back to my home space, hung out with my friends. And while I was hanging out with my friends, right, it happened for the very first time that I left Altspace because I was tired. I didn't leave because I had to. I didn't leave because I was overheating. I didn't leave because I ran out of power. I left because I actually wanted to, right? And I never overheated again, right? So if you do these things, you'll never overheat again. You'll never run out of power. And it's a great way to manage your headset. It'll become super reliable. Mine did, and after that, I started hosting events, moderating events. I was like very active in, you know, all the different communities that they have in Altspace. And I just, you know, can't recommend doing this stuff enough. It really does help. All right, anybody else have any questions or comments? Yeah, what's up? What's up, Risk? What's going on?
Oh, would these products add like a lot of extra weight to like tilt the headsets like one side or whatever? Like, because you know, I see a
Well,
lot
the
of those
fan, the
happen.
fan itself goes in the middle and kind of up toward the top. And honestly, I don't really think it changes the feeling or the weight of it at all. You know, it's super light. It fits right in the palm of your hand. It's very small. What's up, Bornoff? Let's see. Let's press that raise hand button if you don't mind on your lower right. Get you on our list. In the meantime, let's see what Blanche has to say. Blanche, you have a question?
Yes, I just want to know, I mean, I don't have any problems with charge my visor, but what about the batteries in the console? So isn't any way to recharge the controls and don't use a lot of batteries, AA?
I do know that some people have used rechargeable batteries, like you buy rechargeable AA batteries and use those. For some reason, Oculus doesn't recommend doing that, but I know several people who do use that without problems. You know, but it is like, you know, like anything else at your own risk. Yeah, Fury does that. She uses rechargeable batteries. And she has
Yeah,
no
because
problem.
there's a lot of contamination in the world. I mean, the batteries, you know, and now we can go out and I'm almost out of batteries. So go out right now is not safe at all.
If you look up a rechargeable battery pack, AA's, you'll probably find a good rechargeable battery pack system that you can probably use without any problems.
Okay.
You know, again, Oculus doesn't recommend doing it, but I know several people who use it without an issue.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Bornoff, do you have a question?
I have a Oculus Go, and it's possible to have VR chat or other Steam VR game, you know, on Oculus Go.
VR chat, I don't believe is available on the Go right now. They may be adding it sometime in the future. And what was the other one? The other app you asked about?
Steam VR, Steam, you know, Steam.
VR, I'm not sure. To be honest, with you.
On PC. It's
on
like,
PC?
Yeah.
Steam.
Well,
Steam,
if it's
Steam.
not in the Oculus Store under the Oculus Go, then they don't have it. But you could always write the manufacturer of the company to ask them if they're planning to bring it to the Go. Because if they know there's a demand, maybe they'll work on it. You know, like an Altspace, for example, you write the admins and you ask them to add something. If enough people ask for it, they tend to do it. You know, that's probably a good way to go there. All right, Jake, you have another question? Let's see. Jake, let's see, get you on here. Jake, what's up?
Yeah, so if your thing like overheats too much, can it cause a fire?
I've never heard of it causing a fire, but it did. I'll be honest, it made me very nervous, especially when I heard about that guy whose headset got pushed in. Like the side of it, I saw a picture of it. The side of it was actually melted, right? So it actually pushed in. I don't know if this was like a manufacturing defect or, you know, if it's possible for that to happen on anyone's device, you know, but I knew after that, I really had something to manage the heat. And that's when I found that external fan, and that fan, I'm telling you, you'll never overheat again, and it takes care of most issues. I see a couple of people on the list, but listen, what we normally do when our events are over is we take everybody to learn how to fly. We also take questions there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go push that red button on that wall, and when I do, if you've ever been to Ravenhill Flight Academy, you've probably seen that we have these ships that you can fly around in, Ravenhill hovercrafts, right, Talon hovercrafts. And when I push this, you're going to see one of them fly down the street here, and it's going to meet us out back. It's going to fly over the trees, and it's going to land in the back and take us over to the Ravenhill Flight Academy. So if I haven't called on anybody and you have a question, feel free to ask them there. So I'm going to press this button here, all right?
Ravenhill Talon aircraft en route to your
If you
position.
look, you'll see it flying down the block here. And now we go out back, and we'll meet it in the back. And if you've learned anything here today, please share it with the people that you come in contact with. That's how we keep this thing going. And thanks for coming. You've been a great audience. See you next time. So head on over there, and if you have any questions, we can take them there. Should be landing right about now, I think. Here it comes. Cool. All right. Now it's going to pop out a portal, and we're going to take this portal to the Raven Hall.
Talon
Flight Academy.
aircraft is now boarding outside for transport to the Raven Hall Flight Academy. Please exit the building and step into the blue light. Thank you.
All right, everybody. I'll see you there.